Thanks for stopping by the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit the like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into the real of reality TV.
Talk to me nice, talk to me honestly. Look in my eyes, don't let it fall on me. Say you're a good guy, make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it, I wanna see it. See how rewind, when we rewind, it feels so nice.
I was listening to Shamea's Breakfast Club interview recently, and then I saw where Porsha had made this post on Instagram that ironically she had taken down, but of course, people already have screenshots of it and have shared it on the other blogs. So she had something that she wanted to get off of her chest to say to Shamea. And of course, anything that she's going to do these days, if she's doing any type of interviews or anything like that, they're going to ask her about Porsha because we've known her to be Porsha's best friend. Some people say Porsha's lapdog. Some people have other thoughts saying that she is honestly no better or no different than Porsha. Whatever you may think, she's going to be asked about Porsha. She can't help it. She can help what she says in response to it, or even if she chooses to respond to it, but she's got to talk about it because this is the show that she's on. And so she was asked about Porsha. I'm not going to show the clip, but I'm going to play some of it because I found this very, very ironic that she does this interview on the Breakfast Club. We know Porsha did an interview on the Breakfast Club. We know she's been on there before. So now, honestly, Porsha's feeling some type of way.
We thought about it a couple of times in the approach, but I wanted to ask, for people that don't know, how close are you and Porsha, meaning growing up? Were y'all best friends growing up? Did y'all live down the block?
So our parents were best friends.
Oh.
And that's kind of how we became friends. And you know how it is when y'all take family trips. So we go, and it's like, at first it was like a forced friendship because it was like we were childhood friends. Mm-hmm. Then I went to college, she did her thing. And after, we just kind of came back together when she got married, and it was like, oh my gosh, I missed you. And we were like inseparable since. So prior to this show, I would like to think that we were very close.
Yeah. But the show changed that a little bit.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate because I love Porsha, and we have a good time together. Like, she's super silly like me, down to earth, and just this platform. I prayed that it wouldn't change things, but unfortunately it has. And it's like a lot of people muddying and making the water a little messy. It's messy.
But it's not real or manufactured? Because
no, these feelings are very real.
Like, everything that's being exploited for a storyline.
I think that they are just messy. Like, I think some of these women are messy, and I would never have allowed them to ruin our friendship or even muddy the waters. But she's listened to some of the things that they've said. And of course, with this show, everything will be revealed. It will be shown to you. And it's like, we've gone this whole season and not really been speaking. So when you watch it, it's going to be like, okay, see, I told you. Mm-hmm. I told you that Drew said this about paying for your child's college. Yeah. As a real friend, I'm not going to allow somebody to talk about you in your absence. I think you should have been like, thank you for holding me down in my absence. Instead, she's like, oh, you're trying to start a mess with me and Drew. Or it's like, you brought it back, you exaggerated it. And I'm like, it was no need to exaggerate it. The girl said what she said. And I said that she said it jokingly, but she said it. And I didn't even add the part about, oh, I'll be able to buy her some snacks. Mm-hmm. Like, it was just, I'll pay for college. And I'm like, no, if someone came and they said, oh, I'm going to pay for Marley Sky's college, I'm like, no, I'm sure Jess got it. Mm-hmm. You don't need to do that. Yeah. You're being messy.
So, listen, Porsha, she is the queen of inconsistencies. She is the queen of hypocrisy. She is the queen of being a victim. She's not just the queen of Thoughtlandia, okay? Shamea says something in the interview that I feel it was just like another thing that Porsha is going to use to try to make it into something when it really is nothing. Shamea said, you know how when you have parents that are friends and then they have children and the friends kind of become, and the children kind of become friends because the parents are friends, is kind of forced. She wasn't saying that their friendship was forced. She was giving an example and just basically saying, yeah, our parents were friends first. And because we are their children, we became friends. And then, we kind of drifted away. But when we went off to college or whatever, we became close again. And then we've been close ever since. I don't see anything that Porsha said, not Porsha. I don't see anything in what Shamea said was wrong. But what Portia sees is wrong is the fact that Shamea is on the Breakfast Club, one, which she feels is kind of like her territory. She already feels like her territory on Real Housewives of Atlanta has been taken up. Shamea's taking space there. And so now she's going to use her mama. It's like, girl, nobody was talking negatively about your mom. But if anything, her mom said something that a lot of people could see as negative about her because she was trying to make something bigger than what it really was when she was talking about something that Shamea told her, Porsha meaning, to her mom. And then Portia's mom is like, you got to be careful about the dog that carries a bone. You need to watch Shamea. And it's like, girl, what are you talking about? So Porsha, she goes on to do this post on social media, which she removed, but the blogs got it, and we're going to talk about it. So she says, I'ma just say this. I'm watching new episode at Shamea Morton. Now don't take it there. Don't imply SHIT about Diane Williams. I've been keeping it cute slash quiet, and you can do and say what you want in me. But hear me when I say, all caps, wrong road. Talking about, well, your mom thought my mom was a friend, knowing GD well what she did to my mom was highly egregious. Don't do it. Keep playing victim and that BS. Don't F with my mom. And then she says, you said it on TV, new episode 11, now saying I'm it in public. Just stop. Fair warning. Now I don't know if she removed it because she said new episode because they're not really supposed to be giving hints, I believe, on what is upcoming that hasn't been shared before. And by the way, she looked like she's on something in this picture right here, meaning Shamea's mom. I mean Portia's mom. Lord God help me. But it's like, girl, what are you talking about? Don't say anything about your mom, but your mom could talk about her mom. The hypocrisy queen is out of this world. But see, what she's really upset about, because she's saying what she saw in the new episode, what she really saw is this Porsha being on the Breakfast Club. Now, I played the audio of a clip of the interview. I'm not going to play this clip on here because they like to strike, and I just don't feel like that right now. But Shamea didn't say anything wrong in this interview. She was basically just telling it like it is and saying the truth and talking about how their friendship has fizzled since being on the show. Now, people like to say, oh man, this show kills relationships, it kills friendships, it kills marriages. It's not the actual show that does it. The cracks were already there. And because this chick has so many cracks in her character, all of the things that Shamea is just doing in her regular life living that seems to be pretty fabulous and something that Porsha wished she had and was comfortable having her in her shadows is now like now she has to share it. She has to share the spotlight and she don't like that. That's really what it's all about. So I'm just not I'm not here for Portia, and yeah, I'm not saying Shamea is 100% innocent in everything either. I'm kind of getting tired of her talking about Portia, but people are always asking her about Portia when she's doing these interviews. She can't really help it. Now she just shuts down and says, "You know what? I don't want to talk about this chick no more. Don't bring her up to me anymore. I don't feel like it. I don't want to talk about it." I feel like their friendship is finished, and Portia was always comfortable having this chick in her shadows. That's it. And speaking of comfort or maybe uncomfortable, Shamea and Kelli, they're apologizing to Angela because I feel like they have been really feeling the heat since the episode has aired and all of the stuff surrounding Porsha saying if she don't quit mess with me, I will F her husband. And they did not check her on it. And not only did they not check her on it, they kind of brushed it off and laughed about it. And then when this one right here was confronted by Angela about it, she was just like, "Well, look, I just laughed. Portia's not my child, and it's not my place to be putting her in her place about something like that. And no, I don't condone it. But like, what do you want me to do?" So because they've been feeling the heat, now they're coming out and apologizing.
I always find humor in my pain, right? Mm-hmm. And sometimes it could be a little bit inappropriate. I think one of those times was where, Angela was super upset about the fact that I laughed at Porsha saying if she keep on with things, right? Yeah. So when she said it, it was funny to me, mm-hmm. like, right? But the actual situation, circumstance, of course, no, that's not a joking matter. Right. I would never be like, rah, go for it. Right. But that's just kind of how I deal with stuff. Like, I don't want to excuse it, so I do want to apologize to Angela for laughing at that. Now, the stuff Britt said that I see Charles out all the time with another man.
Well, that's not what you said. One.
I did not say that.
That's not what you said.
I've known Charles for a long time from working with the NBA, mm-hmm. and I'd never met Angela. I'd already told Angela that myself at my birthday party that I'd never met her. It was great to finally meet her. So she over there doing what she do best, which is, lie.
Lord Jesus. Like with every episode that airs, Britt is just coming out more to be a liar. And it's giving Kenya more of a favorable light, even though what Kenya did was wrong. I still stand on the fact that I feel like they should not have just X'd her off completely. I just believe she should not have done what she did, where she did it, when she did it. And also, why even respond to her in that way? Because she was not even worth all of that. She wasn't. But yeah, they're saying more and more that Britt is a liar.
And I owned up to what I did say. I talked about her fashion or whatever, but to me that's light shade. They talk about my fashion. I get worse dressed, whatever. I don't care. And I laughed at what Porsha. I laughed at what Porsha said. I apologize for that. Anything else is not true.
I think we all laughed at what Porsha said, and I definitely want to excuse myself, and I want people to understand that. We were in a setting where, and I'm not making excuses for, alcohol and things like that,
right.
But we had been filming the entire day. And that was our wind down time in the pool.
We were being silly, having a good time.
And, everyone had made a mention of something.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't even know how we got on the subject or the topic. Clearly she was in the house, and I think Cynthia was in the house, but then everybody else was like outside. And it was just like one of those things. And again, like, I don't even know how we got on the subject. It doesn't matter. It makes no excuses.
Right.
What I'm saying is, being a woman who has dealt with infidelity and dealt with things to that nature, I would not wish that on anyone.
No.
I admire Angela and Charles's relationship.
Absolutely. We pro-Black marriage.
I am here for marriage. I am here for strong families. I think Angela does a really great job at maneuvering, being a athlete.
And I laughed at what Porsha said.
Did you talk about Angela or Charles at the pool last night?
I didn't say anything.
Enough for her. I don't need to hear anything else that she had to say. But look, guys, I feel like they were feeling the heat because a lot of people were just not here for them laughing it off, especially Shamea and the way she handled it, even after the fact when she was confronted by Angela. But Porsha is the queen of not just Thoughtlandia. She is the queen of hypocrisy. She is the queen of victimhood. She is the queen of, honestly, having a low character. Who in the world in their right or inebriated mind would just come out of their mouth and say, if you don't quit messing with me, I will F your husband. Now, somebody might say, if you don't quit messing with me, I will F you up. I know a lot of people may have said something like that, but to say, I will F your husband, maybe even a man will say, I will F your husband up. But to say, I will F your husband, something is wrong internally. And Porsha has a lot of things wrong internally. We're going to get into some of that later, guys, but I want to know what you guys think about this. But yeah, I heard Shamea on the Breakfast Club. Porsha really didn't like it. And also, it was Shamea's birthday weekend, I believe, and she was in New York celebrating. She had the interview scheduled on the Breakfast Club. She said Porsha sent her a text message just to wish her a happy birthday. I don't really feel it was genuine. And also, I feel like she knew that that was going on and, whatever. But yeah, I just feel that the girl just cannot stand the fact that she is getting this shine and the spotlight that she already has. Because like Shamea said on the Breakfast Club interview, if you don't know me and you don't know my life because I don't lead with this type of stuff, the way I'm living, no one would know. Porsha is the type that leads with how she's living, even if it's just for a moment. So I want to know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys.
Thanks for being here, liking, and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.